So I'm currently driving alone all the way from Texas to California to hit up the SoCal Gaming Expo. There was some issue on the highway, so the navigation took me off the beaten path and led me to this really small town just in the middle of nowhere. And as I get to this intersection, I look out of the corner of my eye and I see a building that immediately has me just lit up with excitement. It's an old video rental store. It's an old video rental place on the side of the road, completely abandoned. Completely happenstance, had no idea this thing was here. Just happened to look over and see it. I don't even know where I am currently, just in the middle of nowhere. You know, of course, me being nosy, I want to go and look inside. I'm alone. I've got to take out my phone and record and just see what I can find in this place. But yeah, look at that. There's old VHS. So I look through this broken window here and lo and behold, VHS along the wall. There's stuff in here. I'd love to be able to dig into that, dig in and see what's in there, but obviously I'm not gonna break in there. Like that's open. That's open. Look at that. I have to go into this place. Yes, I know I'm technically not supposed to go into this place, but I have to go into this place. Nobody clearly cares. This place has been dead for years, maybe even decades. Walking in, the first thing that hits me is a cloud of dust and pigeon poop everywhere. The second thing that hits me is that there are VHSs along the walls, as I saw, but also on the ground, trash everywhere. And the third thing that hits me is games. Oh, you're kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. I see Genesis games on the counter. Now they are covered in a layer of dust, probably a half-inch thick. But there are games in here. The first one I see is Hulk on the Genesis. Not a great game, but hey, it's a game nonetheless. Which means there's no telling what's in this place. Look at this. Prince of Persia. I feel like I've just walked into a gold mine. Now, a gold mine that's been crapped on by pigeons, but a gold mine nonetheless. Oh my God. You've got to be me. I'm seeing boxes. Boxes for Super Nintendo, boxes for NES games. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Battletoads and Battlemaniacs in the box. The box for here. I have the game, but I don't have the box. This is freaking awesome. Now, Battletoads and Battlemaniacs on the Super Nintendo is somehow harder than NES Battletoads. I don't know how they pulled that off. Yoshi's Island? Look at this. I love Yoshi's Island, one of my favorites on the Super Nintendo. And we have the box here for it. We have the box here for it, but some of these boxes are just trash and it sucks so much. The Yoshi Island box has pigeon poop on it. Darkwing Duck. And now all of a sudden I see the cream of the crop in here. A Disney Capcom game. Darkwing Duck, and I don't have the box for this. I don't have the box for Darkwing Duck.
That's a really good game.
Terminator. Oh my God. This is insanity. I find Fatal Rewind here. Don't know much about this one, but it is salvageable. Holy I cannot believe this. Wow. I don't know how I'm gonna keep my head from exploding here. Man, this is something we've always talked about. We've had conversations about this. It's like, hey, what if we ever walked into an old rental store and it was just full of games? Stuff like that doesn't happen, but it's happened, and I'm sitting here looking at it, and I'm breathing in so much disease, but it's totally worth it. I'm just over here stepping on trash. I'm actually stepping on trash, and underneath the trash, there are stuff. There's games, and I'm picking it up. Some of this stuff is, I think, salvageable, but some of it's just absolutely too far gone. We have Mystic Defender here. Don't know much about this one, but it's, again, one of the salvageable games. The Genesis games are faring a lot better because obviously they have a protection over them with the hard plastic and the thin plastic over it. It's not just cardboard. Gotta watch out for black widows. And the pigeon poop in here is pretty disgusting. Still sealed. Well, not sealed. We got Terminator 2 Judgment Day, not the arcade game, just the regular side-scrolling game that's basically a 16-bit version of the really crappy NES Terminator 2. But hey, it's here, and the game is inside.
That's a really good game.
Oh, this is crazy. I can't. This is one of the coolest / most disgusting. Look at that. There's even more stuff down here. Look at that box right there. Look at that. The game's in there. I really like Alien 3. It's one of the few Genesis games I actually played as a kid because my cousin Chris had Genesis at his house, and this was one of the games he rented. Games in there. I'm gonna try to track down. I don't think there's any. Look at this. It's all. Obviously, nobody cares about this. Here we got Tecmo Bowl. It's ruined. The top here has just been crapped all over. Man. Tecmo Bowl. Mario's missing. I mean, they're pretty trashed. Oh, this is so gross. I'm probably. Oh my God, I can't even imagine what I'm breathing in right now. Maybe I'm getting a little too excited here. Yes, most of this stuff is just in the most horrible of condition. It's barely even worth anything. Most of it probably can't even get cleaned up. And honestly, this is kind of disgusting. I'm not sure I want it in my game room anyway. But it's still like, this is just exciting from a standpoint of like, this is something you don't come across. This is something that just doesn't happen. And I'm sitting here and it has happened.
That's the way game chasing go.
Cells with no games in them, unfortunately. God, I wish I had something to clean my hands with. This is kind of gross. That's not exactly something you expect to come across, huh? Yikes. I actually need the box. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's it's ruined by these stupid pigeons. It's that pigeon right there, too. I could hear him. You son of a bitch. The game's in that. I'm seeing a Genesis game here in Sector X. I don't know anything about this one other than it's a shooter and you're shooting insects, and honestly it's probably one of the more bland shooters on the Genesis. This is the stuff that's really what is this? It's Tetris. This has a plastic. So look at this. Oh yeah, God. So they encase this in plastic. So the box is in pretty decent shape. Look at that. Yeah, here we go. Clearly this store has been dead since probably the late 90s. I'm not seeing anything in terms of Dreamcast or PS1 or PS2 or anything like that. There's a few N64 manuals, and that's it. I don't want to be in here much longer because it is disgusting. Okay, so I'm getting overstimulated here, and I just gotta reel it back and understand that this is not my stuff, and I can't. I'm gonna find out who owns this building. So I'm actually calling around City Hall trying to see who owns the building, or if it's just like, in fact, just completely abandoned. So I got a few numbers to write down. I'm in the process of calling. I've been asking around, and from what I can tell, the owners of this place have actually passed away. So I have decided I'm going to rescue all this stuff. This is the definition of rescuing video games from the dustbins of obscurity, and you can't get more dustbin than 2 decades of dust covering everything in this place, and then sprinkle on some pigeon poop just for good measure. Like I'm literally feel like I'm rescuing this stuff, so it would be kind of dumb for me to just leave it here to rot away. I don't know if any of this stuff can be cleaned. The Genesis cases can definitely be cleaned up. As far as just the boxes, oh God. Like I don't really want to drive with those things. I'm not getting the ones that have the outrageous amount of pigeon poop on them, because I'm not going to put those in the bag and then just drive the rest of the way breathing in pigeon poop. But I will. I'll get the stuff that I think can be salvaged, and then we'll go from there. I mean, it's Shaq Fu in the hole. It's no big deal, but still. Yeah, I don't even know if that can be cleaned. It's possible. It might be able to clean that. I mean, why not? And the Jungle Book. That's a little sus. So I'm being pretty careful here, like making sure I'm not going to encounter any black widows. I'm trying not to touch too much pigeon crap. I hope I'm not putting my hand into a pile of trash and come out with a hypodermic needle stuck into my hand. That would suck. And then also I gotta make sure I'm looking out the window every few minutes and see I'm not gonna get rolled on.
Diana, run!
This is probably the best one, it even has the game in it. So I'm gonna keep that. Ugh, that one's awful. I can't, I'm not driving with all that pigeon poop, but I will take the game. The case itself is kind of destroyed, but the artwork is pretty preserved. There we go. Sure I can find a... Get off there, you stupid pigeon feather. There we go. Is this manuals? Manuals. An entire box full of manuals. A box of manuals here. Of course, the pigeons pooped on a few of these manuals. Damn! Some of them are in decent good shape. I'm looking through these manuals and there's so many games. I'm like, man, all these games were here at this point, but they're not. They're not here anymore. So I guess this place got ransacked or something over the last 2 decades. Let's see if the game's in here. Yep. Shit. Whew, man, this is just... I seriously feel like I can't breathe in here. Maybe for good reason. How easy would it be to clean this stuff off? Yeah, why not? No game. I mean, I'm thinking to myself this whole time, it's like, man, if I come across something just crazy like a Samson or something, I mean, wouldn't that be something? Or in these mom and pop shops, they often had a lot of the unlicensed things like the Caltrons and the Maxi 15s, things like that. So coming across something like that is not out of the question. Power Rangers, the big old turd on it. No, there's no fixing that, unfortunately. It's gone. Ugh, don't want to touch that. Jam. Oh my God. Games! What is this? Look at this. I grew up playing Mario Kart. I loved that game when it was new. Doesn't hold up as much these days. So now I gotta look at all these cases and make sure there's not games inside. So this is all VHS. VHS. There's Super Nintendo games here in these plastic cases, and there's just the anticipation. It's like a kid on Christmas right now as I'm opening these cases to see what games are in here, because it could be anything. think that's probably everything. Oh, no. What is this? Claymates. Not a bad game. Claymates on the Super Nintendo. Hey, I mean, it could have been a sports game. Hey, looks, Claymates, it's a pretty decent game. Side-scroller, platforming game. I keep going to the Darkwing Duck box, knowing full well that I'm not going to be able to salvage this thing, but man, it's Darkwing Duck and it sucks that it's just been destroyed. This sucks so much. This sucks so much, man. It's impossible because the pigeon poop, I'm knocking it off, and yeah, it's coming off. It's damaged the box. I guess the poop is dissolved, the ink and the paper. Look at that. I wonder if that was the rental price or were they trying to sell it? You know, that might actually be the price they were trying to reduce it as, reduce it to sell it when the rentals and stuff were drying up. I mean, you'll see that with video places. When we've ran across plenty of them before. Ones that weren't abandoned, they were still open, but all their previous rentals they were trying to get rid of, and they were just, they'd only be a couple of bucks. But nobody bought it. There's so many other things these pigeons could have crapped on. Well, to be fair, they have. But man, come on, you couldn't spare the Darkwing Duck box. Got a few more things here. We got another. I mean, that's covered in plastic, but unfortunately the box itself is kind of destroyed too, so. I've actually been here an hour, and I gotta get on the road to California again. So the Battle Toads isn't in the best shape, but it doesn't have pigeon poop on it, so I consider that a win. So I'm gonna get out of here with a bag full of stuff. I think that's it. So this type of thing absolutely fascinates me. I've been obsessed with thinking that there are old rental stores just abandoned in the middle of nowhere, and after all these years, I've finally run across one. Whew, my nose is on fire right now. Man, I know that I should have gone in there with the gloves and like a respirator, but that's just the way game chasing go. Sometimes you just gotta put your health at risk and rescue the games when you have that opportunity. Like, you don't put on any sort of like protective stuff to go save a bunch of kids from a fire. You just jump in and you do it, unless you're a fireman. But you already have that stuff on anyway. All right, so I'm about an hour down the road, and I'm actually calling City Hall again. I was under the impression that the owners had passed away, and they have, but I just want to be thorough with this. After talking to City Hall and then actually going to the tax office, and like they connected me to several different people again and again, the building might actually be owned by somebody, but they're not sure. They just gave me the contact of somebody who might know. So I gave her, that's when I say her, the tax office, the property tax office, whatever works for the city. Here's my number, have them call me. So I'm gonna wait for the call, and look, if he has an issue with me taking this stuff, I will mail it back to him. He has a P.O. box. I'll mail it back to him, there's no issue. If he doesn't care, then great. Then I guess I'm okay in taking it, so awesome. I somehow doubt that if this building is actually owned by somebody, that they would care about a bunch of cardboard and plastic games with pigeon poop all over them, because they've been sitting there for 2 decades. But I just want to make sure I'm thorough with this, and I give the person, if it's actually owned by this person, I want to give them every opportunity to understand what I did and why I did it. And if they don't like it, then I will be happy to mail the games back or even drop them off when I'm going back to Texas. All right, so I spent the weekend in SoCal Gaming Expo, had a great time, but I'm driving back now, and I actually have Rob with me.
Dude, that pigeon scared the crap out of me. This is pretty cool. I mean, you don't usually see stuff like this. I mean, with products still in here, it's pretty neat. I mean, it's just cool to see, you know, new release on like Back to the Future 3. That's like, what? It's just cool. It's neat to see. And I mean, it's definitely a mom and pop type thing because you got those, the way the cases are and all that. It's just neat to see. Did you look in this cabinet here?
Yeah. I actually have not heard back from the person who might own the building. Again, that's a big might, but I left messages, left my number. I've not heard back.
What is it?
I missed that. Didn't even see it because it was covered in dust.
Games. I find something I missed the first time around. Lost the Vikings. Now I had to wipe an inch of dust off of it because it was so black I mistaken it for a VHS tape. But no, it's a Genesis game and it's Lost Vikings. I'm pretty sure that I am mildly unhealthier after being in here. But I don't care. I don't care. That's the way game chasing go.
I would say probably late 90s. I don't see a lot of PlayStation stuff here. Definitely no PS2 or Dreamcast or anything. So my guess is this place kind of started to not get any new stuff in around the 90s. So just a whim coming on in here and didn't expect to really find anything, but holy crap, this is awesome. It's like a time capsule. It really is like a time capsule.
So walking into this building is like you're walking in through time. It's like you're walking into a relic of the past. It's something that's been preserved for like 2 decades, minus the looting. Now I'm gonna continue to try to track down to see if there is an owner, which there may very well not be. The offer is always out there. If that person has issue with me taking these, I will gladly give them right back. I just wanted to basically rescue these things and keep them from deteriorating even more. Preserve a little piece of history and document it on this video, and I just think it's a cool yet sad thing to come across. Because video rental stores, I mean, whether you're talking about VHS, movies, games, such a huge part of, you know, our upbringing, us growing up, society in general, and to see such a huge part of society just kind of just dwindle away, and it doesn't even exist anymore in this building right here that's just rotted away and really represents the whole video rental market in general and how it really is a relic of the past and forgotten about. And well, I can't say it's forgotten about because people like us and a lot of you out there will always keep it in our memories. And when we run across things like this, we'll always hold a little special place in our heart for them. Maybe even shed a little tear when we see them in this condition. Because it truly is a bittersweet thing walking into a place like this and knowing what it was in the past and seeing what it is now. But I was able to rescue a little bit of this place and keep its heartbeat alive in some way, I guess. And this is why I love driving and not flying, because when you're driving to destinations, these are the things you see along the way. And it just makes me think that there's definitely more places like that out there. Yeah, you just gotta, I guess, wander around in the middle of nowhere to find them, but they're still out there.
You're dead. You are dead. You're dead meat, buddy. You wait till I see you again. You're dead.
What's wrong with these guys?
Very cool moment. It was more even, it's not even so much about the games and stuff that I got here, but it's more of like just the thrill of finding out that discovery like that relic that's just rotting away. It was such a cool moment. I just saw it at the corner of my eye, and I was, oh, video store. Saw that the glass was broken and I could look inside and got nosy. And I only expected to see VHSs actually, but that piece of my mind thought, oh, there might be games in here too. I'm happy that the GPS rerouted me onto this weird, in the middle of nowhere, like legitimately, like there's nothing around right now. Like I just left that small town, there's nothing here left. I mean, if aliens wanted to abduct right now, they'd have no witnesses. I'd be screwed.